Hello and welcome to another segment of the LPE Author Chat series. This is Kimberly K. LaBoo, CEO and founder of LaBoo Publishing Enterprise. This month we are featuring authors from the soon-to-be-released anthology, Women of Virtue Walking in Excellence, Inspirational Stories of Character, Wisdom, Courage, and Strength by visionary author Dr. Tasheka L. Green. Our special guest on this evening is Dr. Essie McKoy. Dr. McKoy is an award-winning educator, a best-selling author. She received her doctorate in education and an educational specialist degree from the University of North Carolina at Greensboro, a master's degree from Appalachian State University, and a Bachelor of Science degree from Winston-Salem State University. She is the president and CEO of her own educational consulting business, Dr. Essie Speaks. Dr. McKoy is a published author and travels the nation as a speaker. In addition, she is the Senior Executive Director of the DMV Mastermind organization and serves as a faculty member at George Mason University. Furthermore, you will see Dr. McKoy once a month co-hosting about educational topics with Dr. Sharon Porter on the I Am Dr. Sharon show, the segment entitled Education First. Dr. McKoy received many awards and accolades for her service in the field of Essie McKoy.
Good evening. How are you, Ms. LaBoo?
I'm great. It's good to have you.
It is a delight to be on your show. Thank you so very much.
Oh, you're welcome. So I wanted to read your bio because you opened up your chapter sharing the response of some of your father's colleagues when he told them that you would be attending college after high school, and their response was, "You will never make it in college." And so you wrote, "If I had listened to those who had no belief in me, I would not have acquired 4 degrees and a host of other accolades." So let me ask you, do you think that the hurtful words of those people actually determined your success or made you more determined to acquire success?
You know, I recall that incident when my father told me about it. And I can tell you, if you speak to him today, he would continue to tell you the same story. He was working at a place in North Carolina, and I also had an opportunity to work there my 11th and 12th grade years. And my father one day came home when I wasn't there and told me that he told all of his colleagues at work that I would be attending college. And what they said to him is what I wrote in the book. I started my chapter out with a wow factor. And that is a true statement that she will never make it.
Wow.
And he told me that. It probably did have some impact on me. However, I can say that it was my parents and their belief in me and the support that they gave me, the strong foundation that I grew up with, learning from them. Also, at the time, I talk a little bit about this in my book, but I didn't know that my parents did not graduate from high school until much later in life, because I didn't really know that fact. And they would always say, make sure you get a good education. And they would actually help me sometimes with my homework. My dad was really great at math, even though I'm not that great at math, but he was pretty good in math. And so it was interesting to find out later in life. But I don't think that statement alone caused me to catapult to where I am today, to acquire 4 degrees and continue my journey in this field of education.
Okay. So you wrote, "You see, purpose was already establishing itself in my life, but I had no idea. My parents worked hard and taught us to work harder, go to school, get a good education, and to do what is right. I recall those early experiences where I had to serve in many different leadership roles, even at a young age. Little did I know that purpose was being designed. My journey was starting. My destiny was in its infancy stages." So you shared a lot, just like you just talked about the virtues that your parents instilled in you. And so you said the first profound life lesson was to always remember to never give up on your dreams or your goals, no matter what, and no matter how long it would take or how difficult the journey may become, just keep going. So as an educator, because we just heard about that you're an educator, as an educator, how have you been able to teach that lesson to others?
So it's very interesting. Now that I have an opportunity, once I retired from the state of North Carolina, I decided to open my own business and then also work a little bit in higher education. So I have an opportunity to speak to young kids. I work right now at a high school in which I constantly try to motivate and inspire others, but definitely putting that message before them. Always think about what you're passionate about. And a lot of times, young people may not know early on, but I think as adults, we have a great responsibility in exposing them to as many skills and talents and abilities as possible because they're going to hone those skills. But eventually, they're going to know what they want to become. And so we must continue to support them. We must pour into them every opportunity you get, whether it is a large group, a small group, one on one. You must continue to let them know, never give up on their dream, continue to work hard, all those wonderful things that my parents taught me. And I think that was really what helped me to turn some of the schools around. When I was a school principal and served as a school administrator for almost 20 years, I definitely went into really challenging schools and turned those around. And it was because of what my parents had instilled in me, but also I took it upon myself to continue to grow and develop and gain those leadership skills. So every chance I get, I tell young people, no matter where I am, if I have the opportunity, if I have the platform, even on social media, to never give up on your dream and to work really hard.
Nice. I love it. And so you said, as I reflect back on my life, especially when I was young, I think about the many times I served as a Sunday school teacher, a secretary, a delegate at conventions, a vacation Bible school teacher. You sung in the choir, you provided youth day messages, and so on. And you said you think that those are the makings of who you are today. You said these early life experiences prepared me to walk in any room with confidence, wisdom, grace, and poise. The lesson learned is to be me, to love the person I was evolving into, to be superior in my mindset, to garner respect while being humble in my approach, and to seek opportunities to better myself. So I believe that a lot of people struggle with self-love. So for the person who didn't have the kind of upbringing that you had to groom them into excellence, how do they begin to walk in confidence and own who they are?
So let me go back and say just a little bit about that because some people may not know what type of upbringing I had. I had parents who did not have the financial resources and means to get me everything that I wanted, or sometimes things that I needed. But they gave me things that are more valuable than money and resources and material things. And I am grateful for that. So I always tell people that I grew up from very humble beginnings. I grew up very poor. My father stopped in the ninth grade. My mother stopped in the eighth grade. But definitely, I think it's important that once again, we make sure that we continue to build our skills. I didn't just evolve into the person I am today without the hard work. I had to have a plan. Had to set goals. I had to have priorities. I had to make sure that I worked really hard. Every opportunity that I had, I made sure that I was not only continuing to extend my abilities to learn and to lead, but also I went to 4 or 5 different leadership programs throughout the country, Harvard University, Howard University, Wake Forest, Carolina, NC State. Just because I had 4 degrees, it didn't mean that that was the end of it. I had to continue to learn and grow and develop. And that's what I would say to anyone, to just put yourself around people who may believe in you. Sometimes you have to look at where you want to go and then make sure that you camp yourself in those places. If you want to become an actor or an actress, then you need to surround yourself by the people that are in that profession.
Wow. I just had that conversation with my son this evening. That's so interesting.
How about that? It is the truth.
Yeah, yeah, about getting into those places where those people are. I had that exact conversation this evening. So,
Awesome.
I love the part in your chapter where you said, I learned by making mistakes and failing time and time again. So I think a lot of people won't start anything because they're afraid of failing. So what advice would you give them about that?
Oh, wow. So, it's so interesting because I never took the easy road. I could have gone into very easy, quote unquote, easy schools and, served as a principal, an executive director, but I always took the challenging schools, the inner city schools, the schools where parental involvement was very low, the schools where they didn't have a lot of funding. It was 100% free and reduced lunch. The kids had so many social and emotional issues. And, I have to just also say that I do believe in whole child, whole educator, whole school approach. So it's important that we look at where we are and where we want to go, but also look at the fact that we have to make sure that we continue to share our knowledge with others and help them on this journey. If we all just embrace that and work together, our kids will do better, our society will do better, we will live in a better place. And so all of that encompasses that question that you asked me.
Yeah, yeah. So one of the other things you said was that you were taught to work through challenges. And so I find today that there's a large majority of our population that doesn't have coping skills and is leading to a lot of bad decision making. So do you have any advice that would help individuals to begin to reason differently?
So for me, I can sincerely say it was my faith. So you have to believe in something. I,
Mhm.
of course, believe in God. Some people refer to it as a higher power.
Yeah,
Definitely, you have to have a place that you can go to. You have to be able to meditate and get in touch with your inner self, with the core of who you are, and look at areas in which you're strong in, and look at areas in which you need to continue to grow. Once again, surrounding yourself with people who believe in you, people who are going to push you and help you to excel and achieve. So it is very important that you do look at those areas that you need to continue to grow in, because you're not going to grow if you continue to get all that great feedback about, oh, how great you are. You're going to grow if
true.
you push and excel beyond what you think is humanly possible.
Yeah, I always say we all need some truth tellers in our life.
Indeed.
So I did think it was interesting, as you shared before, that your parents didn't finish high school, yet they raised you to be this woman of excellence. So what was the lesson that you learned from that?
My mother passed unfortunately in 2013. I graduated with my doctoral degree in December of 2012. She couldn't make it to my graduation, but
Mm,
she passed away once again in January 2013. And I think the most important thing for me is when you have people such as my father and my mother. Once again, my father stopped in the ninth grade, my mother stopped in the eighth grade. They believed in their kids and they taught us to be more than just great, be better than the rest. And once again, to work hard. All of those life lessons that I talk about in my chapter, they made sure that they continue to share that with us. And so, my mom used to tell me if I would have gone to high school, ninth, 10th, 11th, and 12th grades and graduated from high school, I would have gone to college to become a nurse. And she said, I
wow.
didn't get that opportunity, but I see it in my kids who did go to college. So it was a great feeling for me to be able to achieve what I've achieved, and for her before she took her last breath to know that
Wow.
I graduated with my doctoral degree. And so, I have nothing but just she's my shero. Even to this day, she's my guardian angel, and I know she's watching over me. So my parents,
Man,
they were my heroes, and they have taught me so much in life that I continue to give to others.
I love that. Wow, that's just incredibly special. Incredibly
Thank
special.
you.
So you wrote an amazing lesson you learned was when you face tough situations, it allows you to either stand up and address them or fold and walk away. So what do you think makes the difference in the option that people choose?
I think first and foremost, God evidently, I talked about, I was on my path to my destiny early on in my life and didn't even know it. God
Mhm.
gave me the ability to do some of the things that I do now. It wasn't man, it wasn't me. It is only God working through me. And so, once again, the strong faith, the lessons that I talk about in the book, the life lessons that I've learned, um, all of the opportunities that I've taken in order to say that I'm going to expand and extend my skills and abilities, that helped me to be able to stand in tough times. It may have been, I can think back the 20 years that I served as a school administrator, I may have had to go before the staff and share with them some unfortunate news about a staff member passing or about a child passing or something tragic happening in the school community. It was nothing but God standing with me the entire time.
Mhm.
And so I have to say, my faith, my faith is very strong. And I believe that is what has caused me to get to where I am today, no matter what I have faced in my life. Personally, professionally, it is my faith, is what I stand on. And I continue to share that with others as well.
Amen. Amen.
Thank you.
So let's see, you wrote in your chapter about your experiences transforming many schools, and then you shared where you currently are. And so I wanted to share this paragraph just because I thought it was so inspiring, and especially for someone who was told that you would never make it in college. So you wrote, "Currently, I yield to God to continue to design the outcome of my future, allowing Him to use me to make a significant difference in the field of education and in the lives of others. He has given me the opportunity to serve in higher education yet again, to speak in places I had no idea, to write best-selling books, to be aired all over the country and world, to be highlighted in some of the most renowned magazines, and to continue to coach others to greatness. He has put in me some amazing things, and to travel to new territories. Um, I look at the future with a grand vision and a multitude of new aspirations and bigger and bolder dreams. Lesson: God's promises for your life will come to pass. Believe, have faith, work hard, and allow Him to guide you." And so I just thought that was so inspiring. So I
Thank
wanted to
you.
share that. Like your whole chapter was just, it was such a joy to read because it was so uplifting. Um, and so
Thank
you
you.
shared your story so beautifully with that. So what advice would you give to someone that's thinking about sharing their story, either in a solo project or in an anthology like this?
Well, excuse me. I can tell you, sometimes in life, we think that we do not have a story. We all have a story, and we do not know the impact of our story. We must be willing to share it no matter what. It will impact the life of someone else. I think about even now, I have an opportunity to work with high school students. My role isn't really to work with them, but I get to see them and interact with them. And I impart, or I try my best to impart so much upon them without, talking about God. You don't have to go into a school or
Yeah.
college or university setting and talk about God, but you can, it's the way in which you carry yourself, the things that you say to young people, the positive messages that you give.
Yes.
So it's so important that we continue to convey that and continue to just live, because kids are watching every single thing that you do. People are watching every single thing that you do. And you must really live with authenticity and make sure that what you say is what you do, what you believe in is what you exhibit to the world. And so,
Yeah.
once again, anytime I have an opportunity, I want to share that message and really make an impact and make a difference in the lives of others.
Mhm. And so I was going to say how you ended your chapter. You said, serve with purpose, make an impact, be exceptional, and inspire and change the lives of others. Leave your legacy. So I wanted to ask you, what is it that you want your legacy to be?
Oh, wow. Great question. Really, people, and I talked a little bit about this in my chapter. People look at success as being, oh, how many cars I have, how many diamonds I have, how many fur coats I have. But to me, it really is the impact of the difference that you make, the passion in serving others. And I had to learn that in life, and I'm continuing to learn that. I haven't arrived. I continue to learn that. And so I never want people to think, oh, she has arrived. I am
Mhm.
continuously learning, and I'm on this journey of really making a profound impact, not just any impact, but a
Yeah,
profound impact. So writing books, I'll continue to write books. I have two kids of my own, and they took some unique paths to a certain degree. My daughter
mhm.
is in the Coast Guard, and so definitely I will write a book about her journey, because she's
Yeah,
an African American and she works in DC at the U.S. headquarters, the Coast
mhm.
Guard there. And so I will share her story, her journey. She's had an opportunity to go out to schools and share with kids when I've gone to schools and served. My son
Awesome.
is in college and he plays baseball, and I'll write a book about his journey. You don't see a lot of African American boys in baseball. And so my kids took some very unique routes, but I want to share so that I can inspire. So that will be a part of my legacy, the books that I leave behind, the life that I live, the lives
Yeah,
that I've touched, the places that I've gone, really to make an impact. And hopefully, people will remember me by the things that I've done, in order
mhm.
to really impact them in a positive way.
I love it. I love it.
Thank you.
So yeah, just awesome. I know about unique paths. My son took a unique path too. He's in college as a dancer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
his bachelor in fine arts. He graduates in just a couple of weeks. So
Oh, well,
excited about that.
congratulations.
Thank you, thank you. It's been a journey and a pleasure to support him and living his dreams. So I love that you're supporting your kids on their unique path as well. So that's awesome.
And well, thank you and congratulations once
Mhm.
again to your son. And that's what I tell adults, because it's important that we allow kids to explore and discover and find their own unique path.
Yeah.
And I'll tell this story just briefly. My daughter, when she graduated from high school, I said, "Oh, we can go ahead and apply to colleges and universities and get you accepted at this place and that place." And she said, "Mom, I don't even like school." And she's very smart. She said, "I'm not going to college." I said, "Oh, what are you going to do?" And she said, "I'm going to the Coast Guard." She likes to
Wow.
swim. She's very athletic, very adventurous. So that works well for her. But what is so interesting, she is now in school. And I tell people that she's smarter than me because she allows the Coast Guard to pay for her education,
Hello.
where I had to pay myself. So you just never know. But let
Yeah.
kids explore and discover and
Yeah.
just take their own path. Sometimes we try to live out our dreams through our kids, but we must allow them to live their own dreams.
Yeah, 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 definitely. I agree. Um, so this has just been an awesome conversation. I love it. We have come to the end of our time, though. So I just want to ask if you have any parting thoughts that you want to leave with our audience.
I do. I want to say, please go out and make the purchase. Please get this anthology. You will just be amazed. It will touch your heart, your mind, your soul. You will walk away with things that you can put in your toolkit and use right away. It
Mhm.
is just so inspiring and so uplifting. I had an opportunity to be on the platform with several of the women last evening, and I can tell you, I was just sitting there thinking, thank you, God, for me saying yes to this project.
Yeah.
Because people ask me to do a lot of things, and I love it when they ask, but sometimes I have to say no.
Yeah.
But this is something that I'm grateful for, and I do ask that you please go out and purchase this book. It will inspire and motivate you, and you will not be disappointed. And to all of you in audience, we say thank you in advance, and we know that it will impact your life.
Absolutely, absolutely. So thank you so much for being on the broadcast tonight. It's been a pleasure having you.
And thank you so much for interviewing me. And once again,
You're welcome. You're
good
welcome.
luck to your son, and thank you so very much.
Yeah. Thank you. And to our viewing audience, thank you for hanging in there with us in watching another segment of the LPE Author Chat series, where this month we were interviewing authors from the anthology Women of Virtue Walking in Excellence by visionary author Dr. Tasheka Green. Thank you for joining us again. And if you are someone who's thinking about writing your own book, head on over to www.laboopublishing.com and connect with us there. Take care and be blessed, everyone. Good night.